presentation is going to look at the uses of new technology by Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation, Public Relations Department in managing their corporate brand. So the article focuses on the use of new technologies in Zimbabwe by the Broadcasting Corporation ZBC Public Relations Department from 2013 to 2014. And this study will look at how PR has actually used the new technology to communicate with their stakeholders who can either be internal or external. And in terms of the methodology, this study used both qualitative and qualitative research design. And the theories that guided the study are as follows. We've got the two-way communication. This is a theory that says that for communication to be deemed effective, it has to be dialogical. It's a give and take, and it's a two-way. And then the second one would be the cognitive dissonance theory, the one that looks at how technology can manipulate our minds. And then the third one, which is the last theory, is electronic colonialism. And this one will look at how new technology has actually shaped us and manipulated our ideas. And looking at this study, I'm more interested on what we call excellent public relations. And what we call excellent public relations is public relations that is able to communicate with its stakeholders in a two-way process, that is a give and take. And in the advent of new technology, if I may quote one of the key scholars, Karen Brevich says, new times call for new thinking. And I'm studying public relation practices in the advent of new technology. And when looking at this new technology, which can be mobile phones, the internet, and then roping in the social media, which can be in the form of Facebook, Twitter, you find that it is two-way, it is dialogical. It is not participatory, but it is dialogical. So I'm going to look at how excellent PR, which translates to effective communication, was practiced by one of the Public Broadcasting Corporation in Zimbabwe in dealing with their major stakeholders. Let me rush to the methodology. Like I said before, I used both quantitative and quantitative research design. And in terms of the data collection methods that I used interviews with the ZBC PR manager and the ZBC personnel, the workers. I used questionnaires, and if you look at all of them, they are purely qualitative. And in analyzing my discussions, I used what I call critical discourse analysis. Critical discourse analysis goes well with qualitative research design, since I was to seek the opinion and ideas of human beings. And quantitative, I used it to quantify the new technologies that are being used by ZBC. So my research findings, I'll move on to what I call communication technologies used by ZBC to communicate with all parties. And the findings of the study through interviews and questionnaires led me to believe that indeed ZBC Public Relations Department uses new technology to communicate with their stakeholders. And these new technologies, they are very important because they enforce dialogical communication. And looking at the new technologies, they enable this broadcasting corporation to maintain what we call excellent PR as well as their brand. Because when you're dealing with the brand, you're dealing with the name, you're dealing with the image and the recognition. So when I was tackling this study, I could tackle it from a postmodernism and modernism. And modernism, we are looking at the 21st century, where we are saying corporations, now they use the new technology, which is dialogical, which cuts across the geographical boundaries and enables all stakeholders to communicate and reciprocate with their clients, who can either be internal or external. And as you can see there, I guess you can tell the new technologies that are being used by ZBC, which is Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation. And those were the findings that, 35% uses they acknowledge that ZBC uses Facebook to communicate with them, and then 17% acknowledge that ZBC uses email with them, and then 15% they confirm that it uses WhatsApp, and as like that. And the next item was to look at the importance of this new technology in corporate branding. Because of my time, I'm now rushing. I could have unpacked these issues. So indeed, most of the respondents that I consulted, they agreed with me that new technologies are very important to enable this Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation to brand its name. Now ZBC is known and respected across the globe because of the use of these new technologies. And you could see the total of people that I actually administered with them questionnaires and the interviews that I carried and their total number. Because of time, I'm now rushing. And then now I have to look at the importance of public relations. Public relations plays a vital role, not only in communicating, but also to create images and impression to the stakeholders. Now my conclusion then, the study focus was on the use of new technology, and furthermore, new technologies employed by the ZBC PR department to communicate with both internal and external public, using emails, websites, telephone, mobile phones were outlined. And from the general findings of the study, the researcher recommends that ZBC PR department should use new media technologies alternatively to suit the needs of all their stakeholders, and all the messages should be coded using the main local language, which is English, Chishona, and isiNdebele. And I also recommended that ZBC should always use strategic communication to uphold their brand by using new technologies and also using technologies that suits the needs of their client. Because of time, I could have actually unpacked, further some of the issues, but thank you so much. I'm being told by the chairperson that I have outlived my time. That's my presentation. Thank you so much for listening.